Well, good afternoon, everyone, and a warm welcome to the 50th Annual Commencement Ceremony of West Shore Community College. Also want to welcome our audience, which is joining us online via our live stream video. Welcome to them. And my name is Tom Hawley. I'm the Executive Director of College Relations, and I will serve as the Master of Ceremonies. As we begin, the college has initiated many safety protocols to make this indoor commencement possible. We respectfully ask that you remain seated for the duration of the ceremony and that photos be taken from your seats. If you must exit, the ushers are here to assist you. Finally, please silence all cell phones and technology devices. Thank you very much. For the families and friends of the graduates, this ceremony is all about the graduates and all of you who supported these students. We believe students come first, and this afternoon is no exception. During this ceremony, our time will be devoted to awarding the degrees and certificates. Speeches and remarks will be brief, and each graduate will have their moment to walk across this stage. And as they do, I hope you feel free to celebrate that moment. For those of us that work in higher education, commencement is the highlight of any academic year. To commence is to begin. So commencement is meant to signify the start of an exciting new chapter in your life. As a college, we have been navigating the uncharted waters of a pandemic. And now, more than ever, we need to recognize the hard work and ingenuity shown by our faculty and staff. We have all worked tirelessly to develop and implement ways to support our students and help sustain their academic progress. Likewise, we need to recognize our students, all of you, for your persistence and being flexible and patient under very stressful circumstances. You have willingly accepted the challenges of these times, and you've met your personal educational goals. Congratulations. And while the pandemic has required us to socially distance ourselves from others, it has not taken away the opportunities to celebrate student achievement and success. This commencement serves as a fine example of what we have collectively achieved in the past few years. 189 students were eligible to graduate this spring. There are 7 students earning more than 1 degree or certificate. For at least one graduate who started back in 1979, the fulfillment of earning a degree has taken some time. Our youngest graduate is 18, and our oldest is 68. The average age of our graduates is 26. And we even have siblings who are graduating together, one from the class of 2020 and another from the class of 2021. Many of tonight's graduates have excelled academically. Graduates wearing blue and gold cords have earned high honors, and those wearing gold cords are honors. Graduates wearing gold stoles are members of the Phi Theta Kappa Honor Society, an organization which recognizes and encourages scholarship, leadership, and service. Graduates wearing red, white, and blue cords are veterans of the United States Armed Forces. Graduates wearing blue and gold or blue and green cords are Mason County Promise Scholars. And the Student Senate ensures the voice of our students is continually heard by the college. They also work to engage students in campus activities and the community. So if there are any student senators here today, I want to thank them for your leadership and your service. Let's all recognize these students for their outstanding achievements. You all share a common bond with thousands of West Shore graduates who have gone before you. I am one of them. You share common traits of perseverance, grit, intelligence, and drive, character traits which have helped you thrive and arrive at this moment, the culmination of an educational experience. Commencement. We hope that you found your time with us to be fulfilling and memorable, and that your warmest memories are about the relationships that you had here. What matters most in life are the people we meet and those that we have the opportunity to know along the way. The faculty, administration, and staff cared about you, encouraged you, and made you think about what you believe and why you believe it. Normally, those college employees would attend this ceremony where you could personally express your appreciation to them. Since that is not the case this year, I sincerely hope that you will take a moment to write to those who have imparted their knowledge and wisdom to you and thank them for the outstanding education and service they provided. It's now my pleasure to introduce those seated with me on the stage. We have a very dedicated Board of Trustees who place the needs of students and the community above their own. From Scottville, the Board Chair, Mrs. Sherry Wyman. From Ludington, immediate past chairman with over 18 years of service as a trustee, Mr. Bruce Smith. To my left, Mr. Scott Ward, president of the college. And directly behind me, Dr. Mark Kinney, vice president of academics and student services. We will now hear from our president, Scott Ward. President Ward was appointed in 2017 to serve as the college's 5th president after serving 2 terms as the interim president. He has served the college for over 10 years and has over 26 years' experience in higher education, working in both the University of Alaska and the University of Wisconsin systems prior to coming to West Shore. He works diligently to build and enhance partnerships between the college, regional organizations, and area school systems. It's my distinct pleasure to give you President Ward.
Thank you, Tom. Welcome, graduates and guests. I am thankful we are able to hold ceremonies this year to honor our graduates, and sincere appreciation for all the people that made these multiple ceremonies we're having this year possible. Graduates, commencement is a good time for reflection. Reflect on your journey here and the support you received along the way and the struggles you overcame. Reflect on the nationwide and global struggles we've witnessed this last year and how those will impact our communities and your future going forward. As I've reflected on this last year, I keep coming back to the memory of the passing of my friend, mentor, and the founding president of West Shore Community College, Dr. John Eaton. Dr. Eaton passed away in December at the age of 94. Dr. Eaton stated when he came to the farmland this campus was built upon, I saw all sorts of possibilities there, the woods by the stream, the pine trees on the west side, the open field where we could plant buildings. It was like a dream. Through his vision, West Shore became a successful college, a place of learning, optimism, and hope. Under his leadership, fields and woodlands were transformed into a thriving institution, serving students and the greater community. Dr. Eaton's original vision for West Shore is still embodied in the campus facilities, but more importantly, in the service we provide to students and the community. I was blessed to spend time with Dr. Eaton over the last several years and see his continued passion for the college education and students. The love of the college education and students was all centered around the premise of a place of learning, optimism, and hope. I assure you that while Dr. Eaton wanted West Shore to display those values, more important to him was instilling those values into our students. I hope we helped you become a lifelong learner full of optimism and hope. It is through you the college fulfills its mission to make the community a better place to live, learn, work, and prosper. Congratulations, graduates.
It's now my pleasure to introduce three more people who are providing their remarks via video. The first speaker is the Board of Trustees Chair, Mrs. Sherry Wyman. She will be providing remarks on behalf of the Board of Trustees. Mrs. Wyman was elected to the board in November of 2016, and she is the first woman to serve as the board chair in the history of the college. Sherry and her husband Randy own Wyman Funeral and Cremation Services in Scottville, and she also is an officer with West Shore Bank. Mrs. Wyman believes in the mission of community colleges. She attended a community college, and all four of her children are alumni of this college. You'll also hear from Becca Townsend, who is the Student Senate President. Becca is a fifth-year ASM Tech student from Mason County Central, and she has now earned nearly 80 credits. Becca has earned her Associate of Arts, and this semester she earned an Associate of Science degree as well. She will transfer to Michigan State University, where she plans to major in veterinary medicine. You'll also hear from Professor Sean Henney, who has taught English and education classes at the college since 2002. He'll deliver a message on behalf of the faculty. He is a frequent contributor to the college's Humankind series, most recently having shared his love for Irish folk music with a concert on St. Patrick's Day. Of all the many great things West Shore has to offer, Sean is particularly proud of our excellent faculty, and glad to be able, as president of the Faculty Association, to bring greetings from his friends and colleagues to all of you. And finally, you will see a superb video presentation of the college's virtual choir performing "You Will Be Found" from the musical Dear Evan Hansen. This presentation pays tribute to our graduates' perseverance and to all of you who supported them as we continue to navigate these challenging times.
Graduates, President Ward, college administration, faculty, and staff, family, friends, mentors, and supporters, on behalf of the Board of Trustees, congratulations to each and every graduate on your achievement. We meet here today in a world that has changed momentously since our last commencement ceremony. The level of commitment and determination required of you to reach the achievement of this goal has become even more intense than it was pre-pandemic. The addition of virtual requirements and the new modified structure of classes and assignments has required you to do more than show up. It has required additional effort on your part to access and learn to navigate the virtual world, along with your in-person, real-world responsibilities. West Shore Community College is dedicated to the success of our students, to help you achieve goals on the way to your dreams, and to help to prepare you to take the next steps for your everyday successes. When the nation's circumstances required us to pivot, an all-out effort took place across the campus to make success achievable. Each of you has taken hold of that challenge, met it, and more. We are grateful to every person along the line who did what it took to make this graduation, both the achievement and the ceremony, possible. Whether today's graduation represents an incremental step for you or is the culmination of a long-held desire, your success should bring a great sense of satisfaction. But when you feel that sense of satisfaction and want to rest on "that's enough," I have a word of advice for you. Don't do it. Not many speakers go very far with the words, "Don't do it." But that's what I want to tell you. Don't do it. Don't ever stop learning or start thinking that you can't do it. It might not be another certificate or degree. It might be an occasional class or an online video how-to or even advice from a trusted mentor. Just don't ever stop learning. Don't tell yourself it's not worth it or you can't do it. You have already proven that you can. When you feel like the next attempt is too much and you want to give up, don't do it. When life hands you a hard season and you want to believe the difficulty is all there is, don't do it. When you've messed up, maybe big time, and you want to hide or run away, don't do it. When the path you think you're on changes and you must detour or reroute, and you want to say it's not worth it, don't do it. The route I took to where I am today is not what I thought it would be when I graduated from high school, or even when I attained my associate's degree from Mid-Michigan College. I have retooled my expectations many times over the years as I have learned more about life and about myself, and it has all been for the good. It has not all been easy, but it has all been for the good. Every challenge is an opportunity. It's all in how you look at it. Enjoy this day. Celebrate with family and friends. You have persevered and met the challenge that started with deciding to enroll in a class or a course. The next chapter of opportunity begins today. And on behalf of the Board of Trustees, I wish you the same success that you celebrate now. Good luck and Godspeed.
Good evening, West Shore graduates, families, and friends alike. I'm glad I get to join you today, even if it is virtually. If you don't know who I am, my name is Elizabeth Townsend. Everyone knows me as Becca, though. I have been a student at West Shore for the last 3 years. 1, dual enrollment through Mason County Central, and the last 2 as an ASM Tech student. This year, I was also given the opportunity to serve as the Student Senate President here at West Shore. For all of the families listening tonight, I hope that you're proud of your student. These last couple of years have been a roller coaster for everyone. And while I may be biased, I think students got the short end of the stick, even though West Shore has worked so hard to accommodate students' needs. For all of the other students listening right now, I wish I knew a better way to congratulate you. You did it. Through quick changes of course schedules, potential struggles with online learning, a frightening virus being passed around, and maybe even a devastating change of reality. You are all easily some of the most hardworking people I have ever had the chance to meet. I alone could never begin to understand what every individual student may have dealt with. I can only speak for myself, and boy has it been a wild ride. When everything suddenly went online last winter, I struggled to keep up as I had been. Online learning was something I always shied away from. When the semester finally came to a close, the weight of 14 online credits was lifted off my shoulders. I felt like I could fly. However, less than 2 weeks after I finished classes, I left Michigan for 13 weeks and went to Oklahoma for Army Basic Combat Training. Upon completing the very last graduation requirement, 85% of my battery tested positive for COVID-19, including me. After my mandatory quarantine, I came home as a Michigan Army National Guard soldier, only to start classes 2 days later. I am forever grateful that Student Senate, led by Connor Grant and Dr. Matt Sanderson, carried on in my absence. When I was voted back as the Student Senate leader, I never would have guessed that we would go on to facilitate the purchase of over 10,000 reusable face masks and personal hand sanitizers, so that students would never have to be without one when they came to campus. Or that every Student Senate meeting and almost all of our student life events would be virtual. Oh, and I can't forget when classes suddenly transferred online for a second time at the end of the fall semester. Finally, a second positive COVID test and quarantine while caring for my grandmother as she fought off COVID-19. Thankfully, she's still got more fight in her than a virus could take down. I think I speak for everyone when I say this last year has been unpredictable at best. You all know better than I ever will what you pushed through and your own individual accomplishments. So please, give yourself a pat on the back, get a vaccine shot when able, and carry on with as much fight and determination as you have these last couple of years. Once again, congratulations. You did it.
To the members of the Board of Trustees and Administration of West Shore Community College, to parents, friends, family, and most of all to you, graduates of the classes of 2020 and 2021, I bring you warm greetings and congratulations from your faculty. I've written this message at the end of March. I know you won't see it for a month, but I mention it because this past week I've been watching spring emerge and thinking of you. These past few days, a crocus in my backyard have sprung vibrantly into action and attracted the attention of the first bees. A bright, beautiful patch of purple crocus just outside my back door has been very busy with bees, and their lively activity makes me glad, but also reflective. Those crocus, lovely as they are, can't be offering much sustenance, so the bees are working very, very hard in limited circumstances. You all know about that. Every one of you has had to learn to deal with the isolation and alienation of the shutdowns, had to learn new skills and ways to engage, had to also care for your families and each other in strange and frightening circumstances. Especially in the early days of the shutdown, you also had to teach us, your faculty, how to teach you. We had to learn new ways to reach you, and we will always be most grateful for your patience, your diligence, your willingness to help us figure out how to filter education through a screen. We are so proud of you and so encouraged by your accomplishments. You learned how to do crazy, complicated things like finding the roots of functions in calculus, calculating doses and administering medication, sorting out how the COVID-19 vaccine works on a molecular level. You learned how to differentiate sociological paradigms, about the role of the amygdala in human emotions, about how to perform professional-level public speeches, top-notch musical performances, and proper flux-core welds. What matters most to me about all that lovely learning you did is this. Every piece of knowledge or skill you acquired gave you critical problem-solving practice, and the communities you'll be entering into are communities traumatized by a global pandemic, facing innumerable other challenges. In short, we're going to need you. I want to hold up for you a particular example of what I mean from your own student senators. Your student senate has been just tremendous. Early in the pandemic, they went all in for the sake of this college and its community, dedicating themselves with compassion and commitment to caring for others. In this pandemic, the symbol of human compassion has been the mask. We put on the mask out of concern for each other, and the thousands of masks your senators provided you are an example of their tireless efforts to develop materials and programming to keep the college community safe, connected, and well-informed. It's been a joy to watch, and it brings me back to the bees in my crocus. Because here's the thing, every spring is a time of scarcity and hardship for pollinators. There are only a few flower species available, so every effort towards sustaining the community helps. You've all learned more about resilience and success in the face of adversity than any other graduating class we've ever had, and you endured and succeeded collectively. Like your senators, so many of you persisted, finding creative ways to help each other and your families and friends deal with the pandemic, and folks, you earned degrees in higher education while doing so. You are amazing, but you aren't done yet. Things will get better for us this year, no doubt, but we aren't all the way through the pandemic yet, and even when we get there, there'll be new challenges to face as our communities grieve and heal and move on to look for the next patch of crocus. Knowing what you've been through and how well you've done gives me above all a tremendous feeling of hope. Thank you, a huge thank you from your faculty. We wish you all the best.
Have you ever felt like nobody was there? Have you ever felt forgotten in the middle of nowhere? Have you ever felt like you could disappear? You could fall and no one would hear.
Well, let that lonely feeling wash away, 'cause maybe there's a reason to believe you'll be okay. 'Cause when you don't feel strong enough to stand, you can reach out your hand. And oh, someone will come running, and I know they'll take you home.
Even when the dark comes crashing through, when you need a friend to carry you, and when you're broken on the ground, you will be found. So let the sun come streaming in, 'cause you'll reach up and you'll rise again. Lift your head and look around, you will be found. You will be found. You will be found. You will be found. You will be found.
There's a place where you don't have to feel alone. And every time that you call out, you're a little less alone.
And if you only say the word, from across the silence, your voice is heard.
Oh,
Someone will come running
oh,
to take you home. Even when the dark comes crashing through, when you need a friend to carry you, when you're broken on the ground, you will be found. So let the sun come streaming in, 'cause you'll reach up and you'll rise again. If you only look around, you will be found. You will be found. Out of the shadows, the morning is breaking, and all is new, all is new. It's filling up the empty, and suddenly I see that all is new, all is new. You are not alone. 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 Even when the dark comes crashing through, when you need someone to carry you, when you're broken on the ground, you will be found. When the sun comes streaming in, you'll reach up and you'll rise again. If you only look around, you will be found. When the dark comes crashing through, you will be found. When you need someone to carry you, you will be found. You will be
Thank you, Professor of Music Ted Malt and Adam Knudsen for producing this really outstanding video. Well, are you all excited? Your little excitement? Oh, no. Okay. Well, this is the moment you've been waiting for. President Ward and Dr. Kinney, please come to the lectern and award the degrees and certificates. They will be assisted by Mr. Bruce Smith.
Graduates, please stand. Mr. President, on behalf of the faculty and administration of West Shore Community College, I certify that these candidates have met the requirements for the Associate of Science, the Associate of Arts, the Associate of General Studies, and the Associate of Applied Arts and Sciences degrees or a certificate, and recommend them to you and the Board of Trustees for the conferring of those degrees and certificates.
By the authority vested in me by the West Shore Community College Board of Trustees in the state of Michigan, I declare that these students are qualified graduates of West Shore Community College. I further declare that they shall receive the Associate of Science, the Associate of Arts, the Associate of General Studies, and the Associate of Applied Arts and Sciences degrees or a certificate with all the rights, privileges, and responsibilities thereunto appertaining.
Graduates, the ushers will now dismiss you from your seats and you will proceed to the stage. Amanda R. Hepworth, Associate of Applied Arts and Sciences, Marketing Management. Samantha E. Goodman, Associate of Applied Arts and Sciences, Early Childhood Education, High Honors, Phi Theta Kappa member. Brenna N. Van de Voorde, Associate of Applied Arts and Sciences, Marketing Management. Kiowa S. Ray, Associate of Applied Arts and Sciences, Accounting, Honors. Bradley M. Scully Ryan, Associate of Applied Arts and Sciences, Medical Office Information Systems. Cynthia G. Espinoza, Associate of Arts, Liberal Arts and Sciences, Associate of Applied Arts and Sciences, Marketing Management. Jamie T. Lamb, Associate of Applied Arts and Sciences, Medical Office Information Systems, High Honors, Phi Theta Kappa member.
Okay, I'm going to ask the graduates to stand one more time. This is the participatory part of the ceremony. I now ask you to move the tassels from the right side of your cap to the left, symbolic of your transition from student to graduate. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm proud to present the class of 2020 and 2021. Once again, congratulations, graduates. You may be seated. I hope you can see the smiles from behind our masks. Genuine praise is wonderful to receive and simple to give, but none of us does it enough. So let's take a moment to recognize those people who have made this commencement possible. When you entered this building, you were greeted by many people from the Office of Student Services and by the commencement planning team. They handle many details to annually organize this ceremony. Many thanks to Joe Sweet, who chaired the team, and be sure to thank them as you exit the building. Also, many thanks to our information technology team operating the equipment for this televised ceremony. They're right up here in the booth. And a big thank you to the performing arts team led by Ted Malt and all of these fine student ushers. Thank you. I want you to know that these groups have spent hundreds of hours preparing the stage and theater for this event. Once again, we're going to ask you to remain seated until the ushers dismiss your section. You will proceed through these doors directly behind you and down the hallway to exit the building. But before you leave the campus, we invite you to the Shaner Campus Center, where a wonderful gift bag awaits each graduate. Feel free to take photos in the campus center or anywhere outdoors. We have a beautiful campus in the springtime. And there's one more group that needs to be recognized. Without their support, their encouragement, their love, and sometimes, yes, their financial support, you might not be here today. And so, graduates, please join me in honoring those who joined you in the theater and online, your parents, spouses, children, family, and friends who gathered to witness and celebrate your success. This concludes the 50th commencement ceremony of West Shore Community College. Best wishes as you go into the world to do great things, and thank you all for being with us.